I'm Colin Walls, and I'm here once again to talk about embedded software. Today I'm going to do something a little different because I've realised that I do many talks in different contexts on various embedded software subjects, and I get a lot of questions from people. And sometimes they're quite difficult questions, sometimes they're easier, but either way, when they're interesting questions, I make a note. And my thinking is that if one person asks a question, then it probably means there are other people out there who would benefit from it being answered as well. There are various topics which always raise a lot of interest if I include them as the subject of a talk. And one of those subjects is C++. Now, C++ has been used to a greater or lesser extent in embedded software for the last 2 decades, more than that, 25 years or so. And all that time, there's been a lot of interest in it. The interest is not directly mapped onto the level of usage because C++ is still a minority language compared with C. But the popularity of it comes and goes, and it's certainly the interest level is always there. So what I thought I'd do is choose a few questions on the theme of C++ for this video. And there will be more in future on the same kind of vein. So I'm actually going to go through 3 questions today. The first one: are all the C keywords recognised by C++? It's a slightly shaky question because both languages have gone through a number of versions over the years. Once upon a time, you would simply compare Kernighan and Ritchie's C with Strauss-Trupp's original C++. Those are rather archaic now, but actually, for the most part, C is still a subset, from the keyword point of view, a subset of C++. C has acquired several new keywords which it acquired from C++. So that subset status has remained. The only sort of exception is the keyword auto, which is acquired in new use in C++, but nobody ever used it in C anyway, so I'm not too sure that matters. Okay, next question. What is the difference between C++ and C#? Well, first of all, let's consider what C++ is. C++ is a language based upon the C syntax, which has object-oriented features. About the same time that C++ was developed, there were several other object-oriented C languages. There was a C with objects, I think it was called, and also Objective-C. Which was used and has been used quite extensively in recent years outside of the embedded space. C++ is the one which seems to have made it in the embedded world. Other languages like Java and Python are both quite popular, and they've acquired syntactic history from C, so they're quite familiar if you're used to understanding C. Back to the original question, C# is not really designed for embedded. It's somewhat proprietary. I mean, it was developed by Microsoft specifically for their needs, and a little bit like Swift from Apple. It was very specific to the needs of their customers. And again, they're both what Microsoft call managed languages, so they compile into bytecodes and then they are interpreted from there. Whereas C++ is typically interpreted straight to machine code, so it's rather different. Last question. For what kind of embedded applications is C++ suitable? Difficult to answer this in a very general way because actually any application really, if you've got a C++ compiler for the chip you want to work on and you know enough about using C++ in the right way, there's no particular overheads. So you could use C++ for almost any application. However, the benefits of the object-oriented capabilities of the language really come to the fore when you have a larger project. Because larger projects in C tend to become a little unwieldy because of the lack of namespaces in C and the lack of encapsulation of code and data, which makes things a whole lot easier to manage in a much larger application. So broadly speaking, if you have a significant sized programming team, then C++ is well worth looking at. If you're one guy working by yourself on embedded applications, then No reason not to consider C++, but no compelling reason either. So that's it for today's C++ questions. I will return to this topic, as I said. There'll be future videos looking at some more questions, and if you have some interest, leave a comment and I'll see if I can answer your question. But with that, I'll say bye for now.